What's up, guys? James Stewart here. Yes, I am. I'm back. We're about to watch St. Louis round 2. I know you're as excited as I am after Anaheim 1. Looking forward to seeing what's happening. So let's go check this thing out. Got some cool things to talk about, and I want to do it with y'all. Let's check it out. Yeah, St. Louis was always one of my favorite stops. Even listening to the guys on TV this weekend, everybody likes it. It's kind of like the red bud of Supercross. The dirt's just perfect. The ruts are, it's quite a bit of ruts, but they're soft compared to if you go to some of the East Coast tracks like Indy. The ruts are really hard, so getting cross rut is really easy. The ruts kind of forgive here. Plus, I personally had a milestone at this race. Good race with Ryan. My last win, unfortunately. Last win, 50th. So I've always kind of liked this dome. Fans are awesome. Yeah, right now you're sitting on the gate, and it's funny. You got 22 guys, and you got 22 thoughts. You know, you got some guys out there like, man, I'm just so happy I made the main event. You got some guys up there like, man, I don't feel that good. Like, I want to get top 10. You got a couple guys up there saying I want to win. Some guys trying to get the whole shot award. So it's different thoughts for each rider. But I remember when I was, my mindset was never, like, I never really had a thought to get second place. So I was always like, I have to win, which sucked because, like, I felt like for a long time in my career that anything outside of winning was a failure. And now, like, I'm racing, I'm a little older, like, probably wasn't the best mindset to have trying to win championships, but it was cool for YouTube and the fans. I got a lot of fans for that. But it was either win or die trying thoughts, and I probably would have won more races and championships possibly if I didn't. But you live, you learn, and I wouldn't change it. I got 50 of them, so it's nice. But here we go, St. Louis, second round. There we go, off. Yep, Zach Osborne and his teammate, Jason Anderson. And you got Ken Roczen. Just Barsha's on the inside of Jason Anderson right there. But yeah, the first laps, especially at this track, it was another track that you needed to get a good start to come up. And you could tell Ken was feeling pretty frisky this weekend. He wanted to try to make some passes. I think he felt like he had the speed. Yeah, one of the interesting things about Ken, I didn't really think about it until I saw him win this weekend, is that if you watch him ride, I mean, of course, to win a Supercross, things have to be clicking, but can you tell me how much difference did he look compared to this weekend and last weekend? Like, even if you think about all Ken Roczen's races, and whether he gets 5th or he dominates like he did this weekend, his riding style is the same. Like, he doesn't have the style of Eli Tomac. When Eli's on, like, you can tell the guy's on it, you know. And most of these guys, when they're on, like, you just look at them and they look different. Like, and with Ken, one of the good things about him, he's very smooth, but his riding style is exactly the same. And it was cool to see him. Obviously, this is a big milestone for him, first win since the injury. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see how his riding style is exactly the same, whether he gets 5th or what happened last weekend to this weekend. And yeah, Ken, they were either jumping on top of that tabletop and going 3-3 or going over. And I think Osborne, yeah, I think he just kind of underestimated how close Ken was, and the way these tracks were set up, and particularly this one. You know, some of these things you have to go outside to get like a nice run, or the fastest line would be outside. But Ken saw the opportunity. I think Zach maybe made a mistake, and Ken just went in triple on the inside. Zach didn't even see it coming, and the race was over. Yeah, the race was over. Ken usually does not make mistakes when he's out front, you know, especially when he's feeling good. So I know the competition and the other guys, they were maybe pressing a little bit, but this race was pretty much over when he got out front. Yeah, again, that spot where Adam came in, nothing dirty. I think it surprised Zach a little bit. Zach was upset because he just got passed twice in the same 2 laps. And Adam, he just pushed Adam off, which kind of upset his race. But I don't see any of those passes dirty at all. Well, that rhythm section, what you notice with Ken and even with Adam, to make those passes on the inside where they pass Zach, if you went over that tabletop, it's actually one less time you're on the ground, and you went 3-3. And so the momentum that, instead of doubling in the corner, you were tripling. So you just had more momentum going in. And clearly the line, the race line, was to go outside. Nobody really kind of expects anybody to go inside unless you're trying to pass. So I think that's why I caught Zach off. But all that going over the tabletop, I don't know how much faster it was, besides at the end, it just allowed the guys to have more momentum. Instead of braking so much to do a double, you're just tripling in. And so I think that's why Ken jumped to the inside, and then Adam went on the inside of Zach also. And I feel like even with Anaheim and a little bit of this one, even though there were some options on the rhythm sections and you can make some aggressive passes, you can't start 10th and work your way up through the pack. Because again, if you got a whole bunch of riders that's pretty close to the same, like the track is, there's only a couple corners that you can make passes unless you're just gonna bonsai a guy. The whoops wasn't that big this weekend, so that didn't really separate everybody. Eli should have been around both these guys. If he wanted a chance to at least get up on the podium or win the race, he should have been around both these guys. And I think that's just says how good the competition is. And Justin Brayton's riding really, really good this year. And again, you got Adam, is a guy who believes he should win this title, even though he's a rookie. So now this was an interesting story, because I talked about last weekend how I felt like how Cooper Webb, he changed the narrative of his whole championship, or at least that race, how he would have finished 3rd place compared to finishing 10th. And this weekend, I don't know if he was still sick. I thought he said he was better. I think maybe a little bit of the track. And again, all the guys getting out of Anaheim 1, everybody's a little bit better at St. Louis. So yeah, he struggled this weekend. He kind of finished where, I guess if you look at his lap times, where he should have finished. God, this guy's got such good riding style, and he does some cool things on a motorcycle that you can appreciate. I know I can. Just hopping over things. He's really light on the bike. Ken is really good at being light. And what I mean by that is, like, if you notice, when he jumps through the rhythm sections, his suspension doesn't collapse and send him straight up. Like, when he's in the G outs and in between them, it's almost like he weights himself so it doesn't compress the motorcycle, which allows him to stay lower and, you know, more momentum throughout the rest of the track. And he's really good at doing that. And it's cool to watch him, you know, these technical tracks and even outdoors, how he just pops over things. And what allows that also to help him is that when he's that light, it helps his motorcycle too. The bike doesn't spring up and do some odd things for him. So when he's on, like, he just floats around the track, and literally he floats around the track. And I think his riding style ever since he's gotten hurt is a little bit different. It took him a year or so to kind of get the little bit looseness. He was really stiff in 2018 when he came back. And now this year, and the end of outdoors, I think getting through the full season of outdoors and Supercross last year helped him a lot. Yeah, well, you saw what happened in the beginning part of the race. So if you just came in and just stuffed the guy and you guys got into it, when you catch him again, if you have to repass him, you're going to be a little bit more cautious than you were. So Adam squared him up, and I'm sure he was happy to get around Zach without any issues right here. But I'm sure he was a little bit more cautious, and it was cool to see Zach, you know, just race him normally. I think, you know, again, once he watched the tape afterwards, he'll realize that it wasn't dirty. Finally, Eli got around Justin, but it took him 4 laps too long. And I think maybe that was a sense of urgency, and also a sense of how good Justin was riding. Justin Brayton was riding too. So again, can't really say Eli should have been doing this. I guess if he was trying to get up and win the race, like, then I get maybe he would have made a more aggressive pass, but Justin was riding good enough to keep him in front. And I mean, even right here, he's still all over him. So, and I think with Ken, there's been so many things that happened. Like, you think about last year and how many close calls, even the year before, how many races that he was winning to the last lap. But even Dallas last year led to the last corner. To be honest, like, when he gets in that position, it was like, it actually mentally as a rider, it kind of messes you up, because you're thinking in your head, what's next? Like, what's going to happen? Like, how am I going to throw this thing away? So this race can be a lot for Ken. I mean, what he's came back from a few times with both injuries is unbelievable. He should be proud just that he's even racing a motorcycle. So to come back out here and the triumph and the close calls he's had, the crashes and being passed, just bad luck in the sense of getting past the last corner, to be able to go out here and just dominate this race and moving forward is probably going to give him a lot of confidence. So I would look forward to him this weekend to see how he does in Anaheim. But I would say if he goes out and does this again, I would be worried if I was those guys, just because how easily he makes it happen. So when you're on, you're on. And the way this track was, it wasn't too difficult. It's great soul, so it's not like it's muddy or slippery somewhere we have to watch losing the front end. He's just in the zone right now. So the managing the race and his thought process, I'm sure he's just thinking about, you know, man, how Waffle House. I mean, I used to think about Waffle House, and man, the flight's gonna be so great going home. Man, I can't wait to play golf tomorrow. And you only think about that stuff when you're in the zone. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry, Cowie, Suzuki, Yamaha. I used to think about that stuff. It used to make me feel better. But yeah, so maybe Ken's thinking about Waffle House. I don't know. Or he might be just thinking about the sacrifice and big check he's gonna get, his wife, like who knows. But all I know, he's feeling good. Whatever he's thinking about is happy thoughts. And right now, in about 45 seconds, Ken's about to get a suntan. He's about to hit the finish line and get that neck burnt from those torches, and that's a good feeling to have. Me, I personally can't tan, but these guys right out here, like that feeling they're about to get when that neck gets heated up by that finish line, it's gonna be a good feeling, and Ken hasn't experienced that in a long time. Suntan, neck's on fire. Congratulations, Ken Roczen, you the man. I mean, look at that excitement. So excited to win, and the weight that's off your shoulders, even if you just won the week prior, like to back it up. But especially for him, this team stuck behind him. I'm sure he's made some changes. He changed his mechanic this year, and I mean, just look at him, man. The guys, congratulations, so excited, and it couldn't be better for a nicer guy and a good team. So we'll see how he does at Anaheim 2 this weekend. But man, he should be just proud of himself, everything he's accomplished and came back from. Congratulations, Ken, you the man.